All right. Well, all right. Help and wholeness to all. You are now flowing with the Chi, also known as the Collective Health Initiative, a group of indigenous holistic practitioners organized as your holistic HMO. And you are tuned in to another episode of the Health
The health
Class
class you
You
Never
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 Had.
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 Right on, right on. And once again, the Health Class You Never Had is our weekly broadcast of the live discussion on various health topics, including possible causes and possible remedies from a holistic perspective. And as a reminder, as Indigenous health practitioners, we simply practice holistic health and are not medical doctors. And the information that we are sharing here is for educational purpose only as you explore the science of self. And being as though this is a 1 hour broadcast, the goal is simply to provide enough information from my experiences so that you can, in a sense, just kind of take the ball and run with it. And if you need a little bit more going in depth, you can also check out our Facebook page on Facebook. Yes, our page on Facebook. There you will find tutorials and workshops that we each will, have done, we'll be doing from time to time. Again, to provide a little more in-depth to some of the things that's happening as far as health and concerns people may be dealing with. At the same time, you can also check out our Collective Health Initiative YouTube. We shall be going there as we make this transition more into the social media age and doing things more online. You'll also be able to flow with us as well by finding all of our videos on the Collective Health Initiative YouTube page. And for those who may would like even more, like hands-on, more intimacy, more coaching, taken by the hand, feel free to again to reach out to any one of us, your practitioners here of the Chi, and we will can assist and you with that journey on your wellness warrior, your wellness journey. At the same time, some may feel as though, based upon certain conditions and challenges, you may would like to request the use of all of us in your holistic HMO, and then we can set up a time where over the course of a period of time, you can actually partake in the benefits of working with all of us. And coming up relatively soon, you will have an idea of how that works, being that the winner of our Love Yourself to Life Challenge, Sister Khalifa Scott, she will be making an appearance on our broadcast. The date that we set for that is April the 20th. So as we hold in the vibration for all things to go right in the universe, all of the viewers here can get a chance to, again, hear testimony from experience of someone, sister who has been opportunity to work with the Collective Health Initiative. Once again, you're a holistic HMO. Right on, right on. Also, Mommy Elaine on the 10th, Tuesday, next Rise Rising, Tuesday, around 10 a.m. She plans to have another demonstration, yoga, if not mistaken. So again, follow the Collective Health Initiative on our page on Facebook. Like us if you haven't liked us already, even though you probably like us and haven't liked us on Facebook. It just kind of goes to say without saying that, who doesn't like the Chi? Who is anti-Chi? Right? Okay, yeah. So like us on Facebook, follow us. There'll be updates to all of us, all of the tutorials, the workshops. Again, it's also a simple way to just contact us, to reach out what's going on. And you can also send an email out to the Collective Health Initiative at collectivehealthinitiative@gmail.com. That way some private or, some issues or situations you wish to express with us, get some feedback on, feel free to again to reach out through email. Right on. And moving right along, on today's show, right here and right now, we're talking about raising your vibration. Yes, raising your vibration. How cool is that? And for my person, this phase goals is near and dear to my heart. Yeah. And why is that? For two primary reasons. Mainly being that it serves as an excellent offense as well as an excellent defense. And my person is actually reading these notes to give you disclosure here because, getting excited about this topic. Anytime talking about health and just sharing what one does with health or just sharing one's passion in general, there is a tendency with the enthusiasm and passion to kind of overflow to excitement. And, for my person, we can just go out there and keep talking. So these notes stick up, keep a brother grounded, right? So again, raising your vibration and also is a way to raise your vibration by being grounded. It may sound ironic-ish or in a sense, but nonetheless, by being grounded and centered in the present time, right now, the vibration is raised. And with that, a sip of water, keep this vibration raised here. All right. Now, as my person continued to share this conversation that it wrote down that it had with self, right on. The reason why we dig raising your vibration. Yeah, two main reasons here. Okay, it's an excellent defense, just like a strong immune system. We are less susceptible to various diseases that may be unpleasant. And a high vibration serves in the same way, that we are not susceptible to outside fears, worries, anxieties, or the like, generally speaking. Keep the high vibration like a high immune system. Your force field shields up, as we like to say. As an excellent offense, the same as a good attitude is usually returned with kindness and favor. So too does a high vibration returns in kindness and favor from God and the universe. The law of attraction. You vibrating high, you open to all kind of insight, God, the ancestors, the spirits, your guides, the whole nine, the list goes on and on. So the question becomes, in a nutshell, yeah, that's important, we can understand the benefits of raising vibration, but how do you raise your vibration? Good question. Again, my person is going to share from its experiences, what it does, what we do to keep and maintain our vibration raised. So again, this is my person's experience on the subject of raising your vibration. And it is the same. Okay, let's go a little closer here. Make sure we staying in time here. Okay, watch this time as well. Right on. So how do you raise your vibration? It's the same. And read our writing. Nonetheless, it's the same principle as working out to gain strength or increase endurance, or so-called dieting to lose weight or to tone up. Meaning time and consistency equals results. Time plus consistency equals simple math. Time plus consistency equals results. In other words, practice makes perfect, right? So in a couple of lifestyle practices that my person engages in to assist with the raising of its vibration is maintaining an herbs and tantra philosophy while remembering that healing is elementary, right? And as a metaphysician, more specifically a Kemetic metaphysical warrior priest, just as a reminder, we engage in wordplay. We like to expand words. You say a picture's worth 1,000 words. My person also says a word is worth 1,000 pictures. Imagine that. See, there it is. Makes sense, right? Right on. So, and it stands the reason that my person presents herbs and tantra. Okay, and with that, let my person present the picture of herbs and tantra. See, it makes sense when you're reading it. There's more of a flow here. Okay, a picture was 1,000 words. A word was 1,000 picture. Now let my person present the image of herbs and tantra. Okay, yeah. Stick with the script. Stick with the script. All right. So herbs, generally speaking, are categorized as either culinary or medicinal for cooking and or for healing, which can become a little confusing because generally speaking, herbs is that food be that medicine, cooking and healing at the same time. Nonetheless, sometimes people put things in blocks, boxes, blocks. So we have a limited use based upon the boxes that the definition kind of put things in. So again, as a metaphysician, as wordplay, we kind of take things out their box a little bit and kind of explore them, right? Dig it. Herbs and tantra. So in the same sense, for cooking and as for medicine. And what we're looking at now is, what we're looking at again, with the herb is, the part is generally speaking, is the leaves, the fruits, and the roots. The leaves, the fruits, and the roots, plain and simple. For example, culinary for cooking may use basil, oregano, or thyme. For medicinal, you may use grab yourself some ginseng, ginkgo biloba, the straggler's root, chamomile. You know, by the same token, some are actually crossovers. Well, besides kale and spinach or leaves, you know, they're can be considered of the food variety, as well as carrots and potatoes, apples and oranges. Again, leaves, fruits, and roots. And some of them are crossovers, as my person was about to mention, such as onions and red pepper. You know, you cook with those, you can onion powder, you know, garlic powder, crushed red pepper. They also can be, you know, garnished as sides or, you know, eat with a salad, things like that. So, generally speaking, herbs, herbs, herbs. And generally speaking, when it comes to eating herbs versus eating flesh, generally eat herbs or eat flesh. Eating herbs tend to give you a higher vibration. Eating flesh tend to give you a lower vibration. And most of us can attest to that from our experiences of sometimes we eat some piece of fruit, you know, vegetables or something. We tend to have a higher vibration, like, oh, energized. And sometimes we eat flesh, we tend to be more lethargic, more or less energy drained. Sometimes there's this word called itis, some of us may use. Got this itis going on, time to just shut it down for a minute. Part of what we eat, right? And what we're looking at here is the high and low energy, right? Have this effect on that person. So not only does food have this effect, either high energy or low energy on our person, our social experiences as well as our own thoughts, meaning our social experiences and our thoughts and thinking that we engage in on a daily basis either leaves us motivated and inspired as in a high vibration, or tired and drained as in a low vibration, which leads us to Tantra. Aha. A basic concept of Tantra is spiritual sex. Spiritual sex. And generally speaking, our sexual energies are tools for procreation and recreation. Generally speaking, that's what they're used for, the purpose, generally speaking. However, most of us are more familiar with recreation of sex, you know, just to have fun, you know, pleasure, baby, you know, right? That's all it is. So, you know, and it's cool because, again, there's no way to explore, to experience life, incarnation, right? And with this, now recreation is the process of viewing our orgasms as a little Big Bang, meaning that we look at the Big Bang, the so-called Big Bang of the universe, bang, so creation came. We can look at our orgasms as little bangs, meaning that they're the fuel behind us, energy behind us to create and manifest those things in our heavens, those things in our mind's eye, the visions that we have, which is to say that a good use of that science is with vision boards and with the law of attraction, in which our sacred arts curator, Precious Mother Love, you know, that's, you know, part of her lane experiences, you know, that using that energy is just like that. And that's her science of that, you know, the science of life. So give thanks to her for holding that vibration and that aspect. Now, also with a partner, it becomes more of the yoga discipline of Tantra. You know, something is called Tantra yoga, yoga of Tantra, or as we call it in ancient Egypt, Kemet, Smai Tawi. Again, the understanding of the interaction, the intercourse, interaction of two energies, usually male and female, to become one, so that when they become one, that burst of energy, that orgasm, began to produce and manifest either instantly or goes to work in the universe to bring forth at some point in time in the future the manifestation of what was put forth by the intentions of that couple. Tantra 101. So how does this play the herbs and Tantra? Okay, well, again, Tantra, that's like the real power of sex, the real power, the spiritual power of sex, right? Nonetheless, we're talking about food and experiences, right? So we ain't really talking about sex like that. So, well, all right, once again, live again. Yes, it got word that the technical difficulties came through and shut off the live stream. So nonetheless, we're back. And just to get right back into it, full steam ahead, simply raising your vibration. And as my person, just want to just share a little bit about that first and foremost. So I'm raising this vibration from its experiences. We simply want to say that, first of all, it comes with understanding that time plus consistency equals results. Time plus consistency equals result. So, and what that looks like for my person is embracing the philosophy of what we call herbs and Tantra and realizing that healing is elementary. Meaning herbs and Tantra, we spoke about this at some point in time before one of these broadcasts. So we're just gonna give you the gist of what we mean by herbs and Tantra. Herbs, looking at the foods that we eat as far as plants, meaning mostly considered plants is the leaves, the fruits and roots, or the leaves, the fruits and roots of vegetables, of trees, of vegetation. And so with that context, besides, for cooking and for healing, we also look at spinach, carrots, kale, apples, bananas as herbs. And again, generally speaking, we eat herbs, fruits and vegetables. We tend to have a higher vibration in of ourselves. We feel better, tend to get a little burst of energy. Whereas when we tend to eat more flesh, we tend to have lower vibrating, tend to get that, some call it itis, lethargicness, or just want to just do nothing, just, in a minute, it's going there. So, we've had this experience again for the most part, right? And all that's happening is there's an interaction, an intercourse between what we eat and, the effects on the body. And in a sense, when we look at our experiences, they can be looked at the same way. Our social situations as well as our thoughts and the thinking that we have. They can be looked at as either high vibrating or low vibrating. Either can have us feeling, empowered, confident, motivated, or have us feeling drained, tired, and oh man, I can't do that. It's just too much. So again, we look at our thoughts, our thinking, our social experiences, and the foods that we eat in that way, they can raise the lower of our vibration. The concept of tantra kind of comes to mind for my person, on this wordplay thing, kind of expanding the common uses of words, right? Tantra generally looked at as spiritual sex, because generally speaking, we're talking about having intercourse for a specific reason of creating. Another way of looking at, in general, just this whole idea of sexual energies. It can be looked at as the little bang or the big bang. There's this theory of the Big Bang theory, before the universe, before anything, there was no things. From this no thing came everything from the Big Bang, right? And so with this bang bang, we're talking about the little bang of the bang bang. So what we're saying is that the orgasm can be looked at as a way for us to create, within the universe, send forth energy to create manifest things in the universe, whether it be physical, metaphysical, things like that. And a good example of that, which a lot of us actually practice, put into play quite often, whether we realize or not, is the law of attraction and the use of vision boards, visualizations even. And all we're doing is using this energy of creation to summing it up, getting excited about it, holding the vibration, and bang, bang, there it is, manifestation. And give thanks to our Sacred Arts curator, Precious Mother Love. That's, she understands the science of that and shares from that quite a bit. Again, the Sacred Arts curator. You dig? So give thanks for her in that aspect. Again, so looking at what we can do, that's sexual energy, generally speaking, either for procreation or recreating, generally speaking. Although we have taken it these days to have more recreation with it, meaning not so much you can have babies with the procreation, or most days like recreation, just having fun. But again, the other component of that is to use that energy for recreating the images that come to our heaven that we wish to bring down to earth from our mind's eye. Again, in Tantra, just looks at doing that with a partner, more or less, male and female coming together as one. And as they come together as one, the Big Bang is the boom coming forth from the oneness of the two to create in creation. So how does it relate to herbs and Tantra? Again, the foods that we eat, our social environment, our social situations, as well as the thoughts that we entertain, whether it be from outside, inside, self-thoughts, thinking, they have an effect. We're actually engaged in intercourse. Metaphysically speaking, we're engaged in intercourse. And how we feel after that is the result of the so-called birth effects. Birth effects. And so, just checking this time in the chat and everything, and make sure we're still alive and everything's still coposteady, right? So yeah, that's the birth effects. And generally, the question is, how do you do that? Again, because there's a two parts of this. One is the intellectual knowledge. Oh yeah, it sounds good. It makes sense. Others, well, this can be kind of challenging. Easier said than done, as they say. That's where healing is elementary comes in. Because again, as my person spoke about, the video has stopped again. All right, let's just go directly back here.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to share anymore. I'm not going to do any more watch parties until we show what's up, because I'm sharing in a lot of groups and it's going to start to look crazy.
stopped from your end? Because that could be an old message.
Just close all
One
those
Love and
tabs out.
Wellness, everybody. You're listening to the Collective Health Initiative, the health class you never had. And we are not doctors, but metaphysicians. So we did not take the Hippocratic Oath. In case we're still going, I just wanted to throw that commercial in there.
All right, this time we're going with no title. How about that? Let's see something different.
Okay, I should be pulling up this stuff myself too, so I can double check it and see. Wow.
So now I'm starting to get alerts from Facebook. It might be Facebook. Like when I go to delete, it's saying, oops, something went wrong. We're working on it to fix it soon. So it might be Facebook.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. All right, going live once again. All right, so technical difficulties once again. And we are recording this time. We didn't stop this manual recording. So the idea is once it's said and done, we should have a copy to repost on YouTube and or Facebook. So continuing where my person left off on this journey of raising your vibration. All right, so again, how can you do that? Easier said than done is generally the principle, easier said than done. Well, again, healing is elementary. Once again, just connecting back with nature, starting from the most dense to the least dense. My person is going to share a little bit and carry on, pass the torch, as they say. So the most dense will probably be the earth, concrete, solid earth. How do we connect with earth? Eating herbs. How about that? It goes back to herbs, eating herbs. You can also eat herbs, drink herbs. If Dr. Yi want to hear my person may say smoke herbs, so we don't want to promote that, but nonetheless, you can eat your herbs, drink herbs, as well as wear herbs. Again, crystals are crystalline herbs, so there's properties in that. So another way is by simply engaging in the earth directly, having fun, playing in it. And we have a on live on site, live on location. This is fun, she's gonna get more into playing in the earth and the magic in that. Just think this is fun. Farmer in the house, right on. And aside from the earth, we have the water. Again, the idea is to encourage you to drink at least half your body ounce and at least half your body weight in ounces. Water does the body good. Pass it on, right? So yeah, there's the water. There's benefits again of drinking water. Drink at least half your body weight in ounces per day. Then move from there to the fires get lighter and lighter. Fire, again, is a reminder of, most of us like the sun anyway, whether it be, direct sun or in the window, sitting in the window. Nonetheless, most of us like sun from time to time, unless it's too hot or too, whatever. Nonetheless, like the sun, as well as a good practice is while indoors to look at having indoor light, daytime lights on the inside, represents, the sun in a sense. So it's the closer we get in the general sense from the sun without candles. So another thing, burning candles. Another part of fire is exercise. Get your daily dose of exercise in. And my person probably posts its daily routine of exercise in the group page or something on the page so you can get an idea of that. So that's the fire. And then we come to the air, of course, breathing. Breathing, take breaths. Practice deep breaths daily. Again, we can't speak enough on that. My person did a tutorial on the breath of life training. Feel free to catch that, as well as, again, Precious Mother Love and her 3 M's, maybe speaking about the breath. meditation, mandalas and mantras. Meditation, mandalas and mantras, mantras and mantras. So yes, mother love and the 3 M's, right on. So, and the other part of that, the lightest and the sustainer in a sense of all would be the ether. The ether. How we connect with that? Simply by resting. The more rest we get, again, there's more benefits in rest than, besides connecting with God and getting, rejuvenated at the soul level, while the physical body does its thing. Dr. U can speak more about rest, as my person just simply pass the torch on to Dr. U. I don't, Doc.
Peace and love, everyone. So this topic of raising your vibration is a very, very important topic, especially during this time, where a lot of us are subject to feeling down or pessimistic in a way due to the situation at hand, and the apprehension about just the social aspect of how we conduct our daily lives, and the business aspect of how we conduct our daily lives. So, Master Chef gave some great tips on reconnecting with nature, reconnecting with our thoughts. My perspective, is that, of course, as Master Chef stated, it starts with intention first. After intention, when we look at different herbs, herbs can be used in a multitude of different ways. One way that herbs can be used is detoxification support. So when we have a lot of buildup, emotional buildup, physical waste buildup in the body, we're constipated, we're not drinking enough water, so on and so forth, it allows a lot of energy to build up, and energy that's not positive energy. It allows a lot of negative, dense energy to build up inside of the body. And so one way that we can support raising our vibration is to help to release a lot of that types of energy, a lot of waste buildup in the body. So I'm going to talk about a couple different herbs that help in that regard. I'm not going to go too extensive because there's so many different herbs that you can utilize. One herb is called senna. Senna is a laxative type of an herb. This is good to help to alleviate constipation. You can use the senna leaves or the senna pods as a tea. You can use, sometimes you may even be able to find it in tea bags. Pretty much every herbal store offers it. You can buy it, and the same way that you would prepare a tea in tea bags, if you have the loose herb, you can do the same exact thing. It's often best to combine it with something like ginger or peppermint. Helps the flavor, and it also helps to keep it from cramping your stomach when you take it, because it can be a very strong herb. So the senna you want to take either the last thing at night when you're going to bed, or you can take it first thing in the morning, but you don't want to eat until you have a bowel movement. That's the senna leaves or the senna pods you can use to help to alleviate constipation. That's one great way to help your body and your spirit to feel lighter, and to promote, better energy flow in the body. A second thing, we have herbs that are used for blood cleanses, and especially around this time of year, we have certain herbs that are known as quote unquote spring tonics. Spring tonics help to basically cleanse the blood. They deal with usually either the lymphatic system, the kidneys, the liver, those type of things like that. A very good common herb that can be used in that regard is called cleavers. Cleavers can be used to cleanse the lymphatic system. It helps to reduce sensitivities to allergies and all types of things like that. But anytime you're cleansing the body and the body has efficient filtration of waste products, and it affects your overall being, you know what I mean? So you'll notice that your mood may improve. You notice that you may have more energy to do other things that you may have been putting off, that maybe your mental energy hasn't been all the way there for. So that's one element of things. On the food side, you have things that can do similar purposes, like papaya is a good laxative type of a food. Prunes or prune juice is something that people use a lot as well. You know, on the cleansing side, in terms of the blood, you have herbs like parsley. You know what I mean, which is very good as well. That you can use in your food, or you can juice, or you can drink a tea with that also. Moving past that, you know, you also have herbs that can be used for incense. And incense can help to cleanse, not only cleanse the air, but it can also help to attract higher vibrations. One common thing that tends to be used for that is frankincense. Frankincense is often combined with myrrh. Frankincense helps to lift your spirits, helps to attract higher vibrations. Myrrh is kind of like a clearer of negative energy. So a lot of times they tend to be combined for that purpose. You can get a piece of charcoal and you can light the charcoal. And if you have the actual incense resins themselves, because they're resins that come from the inside of trees, and they come almost like little rocks. So again, you can find them in many Ethiopian stores if you're in the DMV area, herbal shops, you know, Ethiopian grocery stores, because we know a lot of things are closed down at this time. Grocery stores that may be from Africa or India, a lot of places like that will tend to sell that. And charcoal, you light the charcoal, and once the charcoal is lit and gets hot and smoking, just put one piece of the resin on there and let it smoke out. Open your windows. You can do the same thing even outside. You can do that as well. You can also get the essential oils. The essential oils, and I just started offering the essential oils as well. You can use that, diffuse it in your home. You can drop some in boiling water and inhale the vapors from that. You know, very, very good thing to do to help to raise your vibration. Movement is very important as well. So exercise doesn't have to necessarily be strenuous exercise, but any form of movement, you know, always helps to raise your vibration. Take it at your own pace, you know, especially if you're an elder. Make sure that it's very important to move, but make sure you take it at your own pace, is not to injure yourself and things like that. And lastly, not least by any means, is rest. And the amount of rest you get and the type of rest you get is super important for raising your vibration, because that is your body's and your overall being's time to replenish, to recover, to regenerate. And when you don't have the proper rest, you have a tendency to be more easily stressed out. Things affect you a lot harder. And throughout the day, like the way that your body and spirit normally would function and it's supposed to function is compromised a lot. Your immune system compromised a lot. Your mood will be compromised a lot. All of those different types of things. So being getting at least 6 to 8 hours of rest is very important daily. And you want to make sure that you're getting good deep rest. So in that context, you want to make sure that you're not sleeping with a lot of electronics on. You want to sleep more so in darkness. Turn off your cell phones when you're going to sleep, or put it in airplane mode at the very least. You know, that way you're not disturbed through a lot of the radiation and things like that. Your laptops, your TVs, don't sleep with the TV on. You know, those kind of things like that are very good tips to take into account. If you have trouble falling asleep, you can use herbs for that. Like an herb like catnip is very good in that regard. If you have trouble staying asleep, you have herbs like hops, you know, which is very good in that regard. So hope that was helpful for everyone. Peace and blessings. I'm going to pass the mic on to whoever is next.
One Love and Wellness. I am Precious Mother Love, and I am a sacred arts curator. And I want to speak to you on some, Master Chef spoke about that healing is elementary. Well, I want to go back to what we did when we were in elementary school, and I'm sure all of you guys will remember. But meditation, mantras, and mandalas. Um, Meditation, I would say prayer is one form of meditation. And you know, before you eat, everybody says, your grace, you know, and so that's kind of like a group meditation. It's also like a mantra, but let's just say it's the begin prayer is the beginning of, or one form of meditation. It can be a good starting place. So in some cases, as a child, we said those, we blessed our food. We said, now lay me down to sleep, you know, things like that. And that's what you should do before you go to bed is actually a little meditation so that you can set the tone for your dreams. And you won't be feeding your mind, like if you're watching TV just before you go to bed, unless it's something that is going to soothe you, something that's pleasing, something that's going to give you the right vibration. So prayer is one way to elevate, and meditation is, there's so many forms of meditation, just like there's so many forms of yoga. And I would consider yoga, exercise, many different types of things like walking, driving, which is dangerous, but these are all times when you almost automatically go into a meditation. When you're riding your bicycle, when you're walking, you're communing with that inner self and having some inner thoughts. And that's what I would consider as a meditation. So it's unintentional sometimes. You know how you drive down the street and all of a sudden you end up where you were. You were in a meditation. You were in a possibly some other things going on, but it started with being able to do certain things with your body and let your mind go somewhere else. And even while you're relaxing, whether you're sitting or standing or laying down, but you can be in a meditative mode. So things that are repetitive actions can be slid into that meditation mindset. I want to mention mandalas. I don't know if you guys remember, but as a child, one of the things they would do to calm you down would be to have you do coloring. You remember as a child, they give you a bunch of crayons and some paper and say, you know, go calm yourself down, or, you know, that would be your activity to keep you away from them. And that was one thing that actually helped with your hand-eye coordination. But you also did things like, this is something that I colored, and it's a simple, easy thing. I offer an adult coloring class. This is also a mandala, which I will also talk about next. But the adult coloring class, I set the stage just like you would be as a child. That is one way to meditate, but it is also can be a mandala. And mandalas are things that have mesmerizing, interlocking designs that actually distract you because you're concentrating on the physical part. Your mind can actually go somewhere else. Although you're still attached to what your hand is doing. It's just that you have begun sort of an automatic process, and it leaves room for your mind to wander, for your mind to go to other places. And so by taking the time to actually, as an adult, curate the proper conditions for yourself to actually use it as a method of going higher, to raise your frequency, you're above sickness level. Because just as a break, frequency, we each have a frequency. The healthy frequency is somewhere between starting around 70, which, by the way, is also the same number that they use for your IQ, which is also the same percentage that they use for when they say you are you're on your testing. You know, 70% is passing. So 70%, the frequency of 70 is also a healthy range, the starting range of the healthy part. There is some lower parts that is in the lower range of, or the higher range of sickness. So in the 70 range and above, that frequency, there are certain fruits that vibrate at certain frequencies, and as we ingest these things, that helps to raise our frequency. So just a break on that. You can find that on my page, on my Instagram page, as Raising Your Vibration. There's a brother whose video that I've used And he talks about that, what has what frequency, because illnesses all have certain frequencies as well. All right, so the mandalas are what we used as a child and we were coloring, and we can use now in an adult form, just like they have adult cartoons. We can take our coloring and with intention to curate it to to curate your frequency to a new level. And then the mantras. Do you remember as a child, if you ever got in trouble, that your teacher would have you write 100 times, "I will not interrupt my teacher. I will respect my teacher." That was a mantra back then. That was the start of you writing mantras. And they were training us to follow their rules. They were training us, programming us to color and just be distant. They didn't give us any focus on what to do with our mind. They let it be, and as some say, it's the devil's playground at that point. But if you were to actually program it yourself, which I have a meditation class where I help you make your own meditation. I have a class where I also help you to make your mandalas. I also have a class where I help you come up with some new prescriptions, programming yourself for yourself, new mantras. And I do things like, I write them down all the time and use them as, I have many of them, so many of them from the years and years, because I'm writing my own inner script. And that tells me I'm programming myself to think a certain way. So during that time of meditation or your mantras or your mandalas, you're actually tapping into and elevating and raising. If you've actually eaten properly, clean foods and so on, hydrated, my 5 words of wellness: hydrate, cleanse, and then the way to elevate is you now have a clear passage to a place where you can elevate and raise your frequency. Sometimes dancing can be another way to, you're mesmerized. But as creators, that's our creative space. That's our place to say, if you've picked your vibration to say, I'm now going to, and you consciously focus on the things that you're trying to program yourself to do, it will make your life beyond, as they say, your steps will be ordered by the karma that you're setting out in for your path, your universal messages. You will be able to focus properly on what you want to focus on. If you make your own meditation with your own voice, that's like raising it to an even higher level. No outside voices but your own. So that I also wanted to show that, I also teach kids, and I do a youth art class, and I have a letter that this one young lady, she's 9 years old, and she made this list, and she had all these things she wanted on it, but she wanted an iPhone. She wanted to be a cookie baker. She wanted to own her own house. She wanted to get a bike pump. This is part of that vision board process that I had started her with. I said, make a list of the things that you want. She put on here $5 billion. She wanted sewing machines. And one of the things she said is, I want this all to come true. That was one of her items on her vision board, things that she wanted to envision on her vision board. So I would say that child's play, as Master Shep said, it was very important as a child. Now that you are an adult, that you can look through adult eyes at what was being done then, you can use those same tools to perfect yourself now. Like I said, these are things that would raise intentionally raise our vibration now that we know what they are. One Love and Wellness, Love plus Art equals wellness. You can find all these things on my pages if you would like some assistance in these things. I'll talk more later about some of the other services when we address our Love Yourself to Life challenge. And also, I don't know if you know, but the earth, there is a way for us to farm, and Sister Stefan is about to talk about mandalas that we use in our growing process, in our farming, as well as I believe there's an actual design that we use in our growing. She's our resident farmer. She's on site. Is Sister Stefan nearby? Are you muted?
I'm muted. I'm sorry. Here I am, live and direct from the farm. Hatep and wholeness, everyone. How is everyone today? Yes, as Precious Mother Love was discussing, there are quite a few, well, I've done quite a bit of research into African traditional farming techniques, and there is a specific technique that is linked all the way back to ancient Kemet that does use the method of something similar to mandala. But right now, actually, I would like to show you guys a little bit at the farm while we are talking about raising our vibration. So this space here, if you can see, it's like a U shape, is called African keyhole garden. So what our ancestors used this to do was, as they were connecting with the land, vibrating with the land, they figured out, well, if I need to grow stuff, the stuff that needs to grow needs food. So they would typically, in this area, provide a source of nutrients, compost. I personally have created this into be an altar where I come to connect first, initially with the farm. And surrounding this are protective herbs. There are offerings. There, from the Kemetic tradition, you have Set and Heru, their favorite food was lettuce. So as an offering to the divinities, we have lettuce. We have elderberry. We've got rosemary coming up. We've got chamomile. Right now, actually, the incense that I have burning, Dr. Yu was talking about frankincense. So frankincense is sitting in there with the holy basil. We've got sunflower, we've got beans, we've got African beans. And what I wanted to kind of touch on a little bit today was the act of centering while connecting to the earth beneath us. So let me see, there's a couple of trees out here. So if you look at these trees, right, they kind of all have their own space. They kind of decided to set up and thrive in an area where they knew they would be safe. And you see these two trees here, they're really, really close to each other as compared to that tree over there, right? So when you look at how close they are, what do you think is happening under the ground? Their roots are becoming intertwined and they're supporting each other. So when you think about vibrating higher and you think about community, the first step is to support each other, to connect and support each other. If we take this a step further and think metaphysically, well, on the borderline of metaphysically and scientifically, I'll say, that connection holds a vibration. All the energy that both of those trees are generating creates an electromagnetic field. And that field literally travels in circles under the soil. So when we do things like come outside and take our shoes off, walking with the earth, we can do things like connect with that energy. So when I'm having a kind of so-so day, or, you know, just feeling not myself, or a little down and depressed and things like that, and I come out here and I just stick my feet, literally stick my feet in the ground and walk. Ladies, it's okay to go free, unbound. I'm connecting with the energy and all the infinite knowledge that is bound up in those trees, in the grass, in every plant that grows. You know, we have different herbs that all have different energetic properties. And as you get skin to skin contact, similar to the way that babies and mothers do when they're first born, that skin to skin contact, you know, raises your vibration. Literally, you I don't know if everyone feels it, maybe because I've spent so much time with the earth, with plants, watching their growth process, listening to what the messages they tell me. But when I touch the plants that I grow, I can literally feel the vibration that exists within the stems. So let's come over here to the collards. Let's hang out over here. Right now, they're in the midst, they're talking to me. They're telling me something right now. They're in the midst of a growth process, but they've got flowers. And as I hold it, Sometimes I come out here and I'm looking for bugs that might attack it. So things that might attack your immune system. You're paying attention to what's going on in your body. Same thing. Same thing when you're out here in the farm, when you're out here in your garden, your balcony garden, your apartment garden. I can feel the live electricity that's flowing through these leaves. It takes some time. It takes patience. It takes centering yourself. It takes calming yourself. But once you get quiet and spend time listening to the sound of the blue jay that lives over there over in that tree, or the woodpecker that lives over there in that tree, or the hawk that comes out and says good morning every morning, you know, you start quieting your own mind, quieting the thoughts that disturb your creative process, then you'll begin to hear and feel the things that go on around you. And that's when you begin to tap into your cosmic consciousness. That's when you tap into divine intelligence. That's when you can hear messages and understand what this plant is saying to me right now. Maybe it's saying, my leaves are a little bit yellow. I need a little bit of nutrient. Maybe it's saying, you know what? The weather's doing something wonky right now, so I'm kind of confused. So I'm going to go to seed. But you know what? You can take my seed and you can multiply me. Creative process, right? Oh, and we have a farm visitor. So out here is where our mandala gardens are going to go. So the mandala's origins in reference to the Glorious Light Meditation System by Dr. Muata Ashby. He's written a book. I hope you guys can hear me. Not okay, you can still hear me. Okay, good. In reference to the Glorious Light Meditation System, they go in concentric circles that represent all the different parts of our soul. And each level explains a different part of your consciousness. So we're going to use that same method, those same tools, and connect it back to the earth and how we nourish ourselves, how we heal ourselves, how we use medicinal herbs. So there will be mandala 1, 2, 3 actual learning mandala gardens out there. So now for you folks at home that don't have all this space, how can you do this at home? So it's as simple as taking a pot. It's a circle too, right? Any pot. Right now I have a couple of bulbs in here. There's kind of lilies in here. So you take a pot, you have all this space in a pot, and you can put seeds of different types in a pot. You can do something like even the 3 sisters. You know, maybe you might not use corn. Maybe you'll use a sunflower to be the tall, center, firm, foundational center in the middle, right? And then you can put something that grows in a vine, something like beans, or let me see what else grows in a vine that you guys might want to eat. I'm sorry, I'm like, that thing almost turned over. I was watching the big old truck. Sorry, y'all. Well, in any case, a vine to go grow up the sunflower seed, and then surrounding it, maybe you'll put something like lettuce or kale, something green that'll flush and flow over the sides. And in that way, you can create your own mandala garden to put on your porch, to keep inside your home, something small. As you can see, lettuce starts out pretty small, right? So when it gets big, they look so beautiful. I'm gonna run over here so y'all can see the rest. They look so beautiful. And you have a living mandala with things like lettuce, mustard greens. Let me see, I think I have Swiss chard over here. All of these can go in containers. This is bok choy. The bok choy typically does love this cool weather, but we did have a whole bunch of heat, so it went to seed. First it gave flowers, cycle of life, right? Flowers first, then fruit. So in each one of these little pods are about 20 or 30 so bok choy seeds. So through the cycle of life, now we have creation and multiplication. So just a couple of little tips. Spend time outside, walking with your shoes off, connect with the earth, connect with those electromagnetic waves. Forget the 5G, counteract it by connecting with the earth. And yeah, heads up and wholeness.
Right on, right on. Head up and wholeness. Give thanks for sharing. Yes, live on location. Yeah, tune in every week. You never know what you're gonna get. You know, something different, something out there. We out the box, you know, and all of our experiences and all of our sharing. So, you know, again, tune in, and just making sure there are no questions that are dangling out there that are burning or yearning from many of the viewers. You understand there was a couple of restarts because of technical issues. Nonetheless, we have ended very well. And again, look for possibly the full version to be posted later as we check out the backup recording online. Again, if there's any questions that come up along the week about this particular subject, any questions on the presenter or any of our last topics, again, check us out on our Facebook page, Collective Health Initiative. Feel free to post questions, concerns about something we've talked about or something that we haven't and you would like for us to speak about. And we can again share a little insight on that from a holistic perspective. As a reminder, tune in on the 20th for Sister Khalifa Scott will be sharing her perspective on her experience with working with the Collective Health Initiative, your holistic HMO. And once again, we give thanks for you tuning in and catch us next week for another episode of
The health class that you never had. Hey, we've got some upcoming events coming up too. Can we share some of that again? I know Mama Elaine has a seated yoga class tomorrow at 10 o'clock on our Collective Health Initiative page. You've got something coming up too, Doc and Master Chef?
Yes, I have this coming Saturday, April the 11th. I'm hosting an herb walk because of the conditions and because of the regulations, of course, and to keep everything on the safe side. This is a very limited enough people I'm going to have involved, and I'm only giving information, the specifics after pre-registration. For more information, you can go to my Dr. U page, DOCTA space YEW. Go to my Dr. U page on Facebook, and I'll be posting more information there, or you can look up Community Empowerment Herb Walk, DC.
Yeah, and also stay tuned. It's not, the event isn't scheduled yet, but look for Eventbrite and also on the page there, an emotional wellness workshop coming up towards the end of the month, April 23rd, Saturday. So again, just stay tuned for that. And again, stay tuned to the page and, you know, we'll keep you updated and posted. Anything else?
There's a whole bunch of stuff. I guess we can all just send everybody. Please join us on Facebook, the Collective Health Initiative page and group, and Instagram. I'm sorry, no Instagram. YouTube.
There is Instagram.
There is Instagram. My bad for my sloth and not knowing. So I guess I knew, but I didn't know that I knew. But Mama Elaine is on the line. I don't know if she has any further details about her class that's coming up tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And in the meantime, back to you, Master Chef.
Again, in the meantime, stay tuned next week, live 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of
The Health Class You Never Had.
Peace and blessings, everyone.
One love and well.
Indeed, peace and wholeness.